Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday. I am dressed. It is a dress, and it's so warm. And I've put a dash of lipstick on. So I was feeling so low yesterday, and to compound it all, I had a headache, which turned in, as it usually does, to migraine type thing. Like somebody pressing on my temples, and feeling sick. A dull thud in my head, my eyes hurt. I feel a lot better this morning, so I'm not going to make you feel depressed. But I do think it would be good for me to come on and share certain things. At the moment, it's topical to talk about COVID-19. The UK has gone back. The UK and England and Scotland have gone back into lockdown, and Northern Ireland, and real draconian measures have been brought in that all schools are now closed, despite Boris Johnson just 3 days ago saying that the kids should go back to school. All the schools are closed, colleges are closed. People can't meet anybody. You're allowed to meet one person outside for exercise briefly, and that's it. The police have been given a lot of powers to invoke these laws that the government have brought in, and I believe that they are laws, because I've seen activists being arrested. A woman I watched this morning, and the police went into a home and made her get out of bed at night and slapped handcuffs on her because she'd been filming in an accident and emergency hospital in London. I've got a lot of respect for activists because I am one. At least I was one, and ended up in a cell myself on a couple of occasions. But I think that anything that activists do needs to be transparent, as everything does need to be. You need to be honest. You need to have the belief that what you're doing is correct, and you need to work to the letter. In other words, don't mislead people. I think this woman, she'd gone to the accident and emergency, which, not being used. Everybody who's gone in they're on the wards, which are full. The intensive care units in London hospital are full. In Birmingham, where I live, the Queen Elizabeth had 12 ambulances lined up outside. So it's a very real issue, and I think people who are denying it are doing a disservice to others. In regards to the flu vaccine, will I be having it? No, I won't. I never had the flu vaccine, the ordinary flu vaccine, and I won't be having the COVID vaccine. That's my personal choice, and I think that people's personal choices need to be accepted and respected, and don't lay into people for having the jab, and don't lay into people for not having the jab. We're all responsible. We're each responsible for our own bodies. I can tell you that when my husband died, he was taken from the nursing home, and don't worry, because all this is going to come out, all of it, eventually. There's going to be videos and a blog dedicated to ALFIE's care. But when he was taken into Heartlands Hospital in Birmingham, we were informed that his one-to-one carer was 40 minutes late. She hadn't turned up. That the nursing home had put one of their nurses in with ALF. I don't believe that for one moment, because I've gone and I was there every day, remember, and I've seen what happens when people don't turn up. People left. There was one night I stayed overnight, and they're supposed to check on ALF every 20 minutes. I stayed overnight. I was there. I got there about 9. Nobody came into him until 3 o'clock in the morning. Probably because they realised I was there then. I did have permission to stay. I wasn't doing anything that I shouldn't. And I asked the nurse at the time, why has nobody been in to check on ALF since I'd been here since 9 o'clock? And she said, you have to ask the carers. I said, no, I'm asking you, as you're in charge tonight on this shift, you are responsible for the nurses. Anyway, of course, they were assiduously checking after that, but that's what happened, and I've seen what happened, and I predicted what would happen. I predicted that ALFIE would be left. He would have a fall because somebody wasn't watching him, or more likely, he would become dehydrated because he couldn't ask for a drink. He couldn't ask. He used to put his fingers to his lips. And I've been there when she's given him a drink, and the little sippy cup things, and I've taken the lid off because it shoots to the back of his throat. I said he needs an open cup. And I've been there when different nurses have sort of put it to ALF's lips and then moved it away. And I've had to say, he didn't get anything. Nothing went in. So I would ensure ALF was hydrated. I would get him yogurts, ice cream, if he wasn't drinking well, anything to make sure he remained hydrated. On a number of occasions, I mean 2 hands worth of number. I was alarmed when I got there because ALF was non-responsive. He was like this. We discovered that initially, I mean, I'm going back now, when he first went into this place a few years ago, and how long ago was it? 4 years. And we discovered that of a night, because ALFIE was, you know, he would shout out, somebody would have to go into him, and we discovered that they'd been giving him every night lorazepam to knock him out. And of course, that's bled over into the following day. And ALF would be there like this. No attention was being paid to him. I got ice cream into him, yogurts into him. Twice he ended up in hospital because of it. And that's what happened on the day he died. They said the carer was late, had one of their own carers in, and then they changed their tune and said that they'd gotten ALF into a hoist to get him into the living area, sat him down, and he was non-responsive. Now, this hoist was only brought into effect 12 months ago, and I believe a lot of wrong decisions were made, a lot. The manager's no longer there, by the way. Complete fucking bastard she was. Liar. If you're watching, Heather Young. Liar. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. And I knew it. All the garbage that came out of your trap. And even the one who's management there. And remember the time I'd left my phone in Alfie's room inadvertently, and it was by mistake. And I'd been taking a picture of him with his reborn dolls. That phone kept on filming. And one of the carers, as she was changing now, she was so rude and she was so rough with him. And she said, she comes every day, meaning me. She comes every day. There's got to be money somewhere. Why would somebody put themselves through this? There was no money. Neither Alf nor I were insured after the house was paid for. The only money was my savings, and my son looked after Alfie's accounts. That all went on our kids and on Alfie's funeral. And a £3,500 headstone, a £6,000 funeral. But to say that it's got to be money involved, what a thing to say. I went out of love. I'm only living now out of love. Trying to live as Alfie would want me to. But I can tell you, I understand now those widows who, when their husbands have died and they're on a funeral pyre and the woman walks in and is cremated along with her husband. I understand that, because I no longer want to be here. But I'm doing what Alfie would want me to do. I've changed tack from what I was talking about. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm going to cut this short now because it's a pretty long video. And I want to go out for a short walk, if I can, just down the road. I've got to go to the bottom of the drive to put my bins out. So, and this is really warm. So I may get and take you on a little walk down the road and show you the nursing home that's down there. It's quite nice, but unfortunately they don't care for people with the complex conditions that my husband had. I'll be back later, and despite everything and what I've been talking about, really, I'm sending you love. Back later on. Bye-bye.